Hello friends, I'm Navina and today I will read from the 1983 series of Chandamama. This is a story from the January 1983 issue. The story's name is Tonic for Immortality. This happened thousands of years ago. The Bodhisattva, the soul that was to later manifest as the Buddha, had been born in a town near Varanasi. Nagarjun was a minister to the king of a small kingdom. He was dearly loved by the king and revered by all for his wisdom and compassion. He was a versatile genius. He had profound knowledge even in matters of medicine. Once, while he was away from his home, his son fell seriously ill. Nagarjun was late in reaching home. He could not save the boy. The death of his son not only proved a great shock to him, but also made him wonder if there was no cure for death. He devoted all his time to the study of all the treatises on medicine. He toured the Himalayas consulting sages and seers. At last, he evolved a formula for preparing a tonic that would make man immortal. The process was long and expensive, for numerous rare herbs had to be collected. But Nagarjun had the king as his patron, and so he did not lack in funds or assistance. When his effort was about to be successful, Indra, the king of gods, sent the Ashwini brothers, who were physicians to the gods, to dissuade Nagarjun from going ahead with his experiment. The two brothers met Nagarjun and told him, "O wise minister, how do you dare to go against the providential scheme of birth and death? Is it not an unholy effort? If there is nothing unholy in trying to save a man from disease, I don't see anything unholy in trying to save a man from death," replied Nagarjun. The two physicians of the gods went back to Indra disappointed. Indra was quite upset. He did not wish man to become immortal like the gods. So he assumed the form of an old Brahmin and met the king's son, the crown prince. "My young lord, do you know what Nagarjun is doing?" the disguised Indra asked. "Yes, he is doing something great. He is preparing a tonic that would make man immortal," replied the crown prince. "And you call that great? Young man, don't you see your own misfortune in this? If your father becomes immortal, can you ever ascend the throne? You will remain crown prince forever, never wearing the crown," said the Brahmin scoffingly. This set the ambitious prince to think. Was he destined to be deprived of the throne? What should he do? "I'll tell you what you should do. Nagarjun, as a rule, never refuses a thing just before sitting for dinner. You watch for that moment and ask him for his head. With Nagarjun dead, the king too would die," said the Brahmin. The prince went to Nagarjun just when he was about to sit down for dinner. "I have to ask something of you. Will you promise to give it to me?" he asked. "I promise. What is it that you need?" "Your head," replied the prince. Without the slightest hesitation, Nagarjun handed out his own sword to the prince and asked him to behead him. The prince struck Nagarjun with the sword, but to no effect, as Nagarjun's neck was hard as steel by the virtue of the tonic he used to take. But Nagarjun himself applied a certain ointment to the sword and asked the prince to try again. In the meanwhile, the king heard about what the prince was doing. He came rushing to the spot, but the prince beheaded Nagarjun before the king could stop him. With Nagarjun's death, the formula for the tonic of immortality was forgotten. Sorrow made the king abdicate the throne. The prince, of course, became the king. So, friends, from this story we learn that everything in this universe was created for a purpose, even death, however cruel it might be. Thank you.